Hey everybody, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Well, it's Monday, 10:30, and it's our Real Estate Talk with Beth show, where each week we go into real estate and talk real estate. But since today is the first Monday of the month of December, we're going to talk about the November market report here. And this is going to be a pretty good show because before we started, we already had some heated discussions on stuff.
Yeah,
and so I'm going to give
predictions
you, and remember,
everything.
I'm not a realtor.
He doesn't pretend to be one either.
I'm not a realtor, but I have my predictions, and we're getting closer earlier on my prediction than what we had. So,
Well,
Beth,
this will be the last market report we have before the new year.
right.
So-
But we'll come back in January. I think we're set for January. Towards the end of January, we'll give you the first the December market report, the first Monday in January. But then we're going to come back 2 weeks later, maybe,
And we'll do
let
a
everything.
recap.
We're going to do a recap on 2023 and let you know what happened during 2023, and then we'll also compare it to 2022, 21, and 19. And
Right.
so that gives you some idea on what's going on. So let's
Exactly.
look
Let's do
at
it.
November,
Okay.
Turkey
So-
month.
Turkey month, but we're in December now. So
Right.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Okay, so our average sales price for the month of November was $512,725. That's the average sold. So that's a good number. And
That was down.
It was down 0.03%, so that's not too bad. And this is compared to October. And what he didn't say, which we always say, is that we're looking at the averages. We're looking from the ferry to High Island, from the beach to the bay.
So if there's a bunch of beachfronts that closed in 1 month,
That
or
number
a
could be
bunch
higher.
of property that closed in 1 month, it could throw the numbers off a little
Yeah.
bit. But I don't think this November we had that.
No, and we've been staying around that 500,000 mark as the average overall sales price. So
Yeah, when you're down 0.03%, that's not too much.
no, not too much. Okay, so why isn't this working? Okay, our average price per square foot that was sold was $316. 316. So where did that go? That is down 0.03% as well. So that number's not moving very much. Now let's look and see what the homes that are on the market are averaging. So those homes that are on the market we have 289.
And you and I were talking before the show. I can remember, and I don't know who I was talking to at one time, and this was like 3 or 4 years ago. They said we had 180 homes on the market, and that was a lot then. This is a lot.
It's a lot.
And my prediction was 2 or 3 months ago that in the first quarter of 2023, we would hit over 300 homes. And actually, when you see the next slide, I think,
No, it's further
is it
down.
on
Yeah.
what dropped off.
A lot
I was
of those
surprised.
did,
That's
yeah.
2 months in a row. We've had a whole lot drop off.
Folks, this is a lot of houses on the
Yeah.
market right now. So if you're on the market
A year and a
right
half's
now,
worth.
Yeah, a year and a half's worth. If you're on the market right now, there's only so many buyers that you can choose from, and your house has to be the best.
Well, and you and I talk about this all the time. It comes down to pricing. You
Right.
know, if you're $50 or $25 or even $10 a square foot more than what they can get the same house, maybe in a different subdivision,
Or closer to the beach.
or closer to the
Or you
beach,
have some amenities that the buyer wants.
what do you think they're going to choose? People are shopping now.
Oh, heck yeah.
This is
They're shopping.
it's a buyer's market.
18 months worth. Okay, so that number is down from the
Barely.
Yeah,
That's like
0.02.
half a house.
Yeah, and that says September, but it's actually
October.
So I messed that up. So the average price for homes active on the market is $395.
And it was $319.
Well, you know, I should put these closer to each other.
$316
That's
a
a
square
huge
foot.
difference, folks. Huge difference. And we got to get that number closer. Last month it was closer. So we had some stuff sell that were higher per foot. I mean, that came on the market that was higher per foot. Or we had stuff sell that was lower.
Right.
But it had to have been the houses coming on the market because
Yeah.
this number only dropped 0.03%.
Yeah.
So we've had stuff come on the market that is high.
Yeah, and we were talking the other day on the phone, and I said, how many homes do we have here? $1 million homes, and I forget.
14.
Yeah, you had looked it up while we were talking to
And it's not
see.
the sales price that we're looking at here. It's the average price per foot.
Per foot.
Yeah, so just because they're over $1 million, if they're priced well, that would indicate that would
Right.
be indicated here. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So the average price per foot was 0. It didn't change that.
Change any.
We have 18-month supply of homes on the market right now. So that is a year and a half worth. That's the absorption rate. So what that means to sellers is there's 18 months before your house could sell, unless you price it right. That's the absorption rate.
And that's what you and I have talked about. It's about going in and doing the comps. And I mean, when it comes down to it, it's the customer, the home seller, that has the final say. But if you don't listen to your realtor, you know, and say you want $398 a square foot, but the comps are $375 or $350, your house could hit that 18 month unless you found the perfect. But it also comes back to marketing your home.
Well,
you know,
it does,
and
getting to all the buyers and showing if you do have some amenities that are great, or if you do have that great view, showing that, highlighting that, having it on the show.
right.
And you can call me to do that.
So,
Yeah.
okay, what
else have we got? So the average days on the market is 133. So that is for the sold houses.
it's about 5
130.
months, 4.5 months.
So those lucky lucky sellers that did get those buyers, it took 133 days for that house to sell, which is huge.
But that shows there are buyers out there.
Yeah.
And I've talked to some people that said, hey, David, we've got cash, you know, or we're setting to where we want to do some investment, you know, let us know. And I know you have a group of people, several that
I'm
you
always
work
talking
with.
to buyers, and they're looking for the deal.
Yeah, they have the backing or the cash and are ready to deal. But now they don't have to jump at anything. They can shop it. So
Unless you're the buyer that has to do something before the end of the year, and we'll talk about that.
yeah.
We had 7 houses that went under contract
Okay.
this past month in November. That is low.
But let's get to the other slide that you and I argued
I didn't
about.
like this number.
Well, but
just
when
saying,
they
I don't
see
like
this other slide,
Okay, I'll let you analyze it. The number of houses that expired, terminated, or withdrew was 145, and that went up.
yeah, I remembered it was high last month.
Yeah, I just put the arrow there.
Okay.
I didn't do the percentage. Okay. And I don't have the total back before, but there was 17 houses that sold this past November, and that's how they break down. And you notice I put some more arrows on there because beachfront, we had 4 beachfront that sold last month. And so that's equal. The average price per foot was down though to $436. So there's some beachfront.
First and second row was equal then.
Yeah, most beachfront, and like happened last month, there were some teardowns kind of or some lower priced ones,
Some
which
fixer-uppers.
brought that number down on beachfront. So if you're at about 1,200 square feet, you're looking at about $530, $550 a foot, somewhere in there. First and second row, that's a good number. That was really a nice house at $438. Third and back, that number went down. There was 8 that sold. That's where the majority of houses that sold were. And the average is $321. And then
That came up.
Which, no.
321 shows up.
The price per foot did go up. And then Bayside went down. We sold 4 houses, which was the same, but the price per foot went down. Okay, this is the slide you wanted to talk about.
It's changing. It's not, and I said, but look at the homes sold. Okay, we're looking at 2013 or 2019, 20, 21, 22, and 23. Now in 2019, pre-pandemic, they were at $217 a square foot. Okay, 13 of them closed. Now we're at $360 a square foot, 16 closed. But that's actually 2 more than we did in 2022. Now it's $39 a square foot more, but I'm looking at home, from my perspective, I'm not looking at square foot because.
I'm not either. No, I'm looking
But
at
for
volume.
homes sold in October.
This was actually November.
Or November,
so,
I
sorry,
mean.
folks.
You know, we're up to. Now, we can't compete with 2021. You know, that was crazy.
Crazy.
But we're really not that far off
We're
from
not that far
2022
off
either.
from 2019. We're definitely better than 2019, and we're not that far from 2022. 2022, though, that was when the interest rates was going up.
Right.
It was going crazy in 2022.
Okay, interest rates. So I told you before we started, 30 years ago, 28 years, 25 years ago, I bought my first house. And I can say I was making $10 an hour, which was decent money, you know,
I don't know what
for valve automation then. Bought my first house. My interest rate, I want to say it was 13.5 or 14%. You did what you had to do.
Yeah. If you wanted to be a homeowner at that time.
Now, houses were a lot cheaper back then, but for what we were making, it's probably not that much difference. You know, and
I know.
so at $360 a square foot, you know my feelings on price per square foot. It went up because it was a supply and demand.
Right.
One thing I learned in government was supply and demand. And so, but now we're selling more houses than we did in 2019.
We have more houses.
I don't know what the cost difference is between 2019 and now, probably double.
Probably. Because of inflation.
And so if.
I'm not going to get into economics here.
Yeah, if with $360 a square foot,
Well, I think.
Interest rates.
I'll go to the next slide. Oh, there I am. Merry Christmas.
Everyone's going to have to get used to the interest rates.
Well, that's the thing. The interest rates are starting to come down.
Right.
So that's the great news in all of this. That, you know, if you're a buyer and you're looking at those interest rates, the experts say, don't buy the house for the interest rate. Buy the house because that's what you want to do. You have a plan to do it, and you can always refinance later. I'm not going to, and I've talked to you about this before, I'm not going to jump on that bandwagon and say it's going to be a feeding frenzy when the interest rates do come down, because I don't want to scare anybody. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's what the industry leaders are saying, just to, and they'll probably shun me for this.
No, I don't think we're going to see a feeding frenzy because, one, we've got so many houses on the market. So it's going to be a buyer's market for a while. And people
we have 18 months of houses.
People are going to be, you know, during the pandemic, when all this went on, all the buying went on, there was free money out there. There was dirt cheap interest rates that we'd never seen before, probably. And it was the perfect storm. And so, you know, reality set in now. We've got elections, we've got interest rates, we've got, you know, we're back to normalcy, I guess you could say, as far as traveling and doing that. And so I'm anxious to see what happens in 2024. I think people are going to get used to it, though, after a while, and just say, especially if home prices keep going down. Because when you look at Rockport and Corpus and those, I think we're still cheaper.
We're at a better price. And I want to
price
get back
per square foot. You know, I think we're at a better price per square foot than you are down there. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to talk a little bit more, and I don't know how much time we have. About
Not much, because I've been gabbing.
Me too. About that interest rate, the absorption rate for a second. And I really want to drill in on this. So we had 17 houses that sold last month. And how I get that absorption rate, I take the number of houses sold and divide it by the number of houses on the market, and that's how you come up with the interest rate, the absorption rate. So if you're that seller out there with one of those 289 houses on the market, there's only 17
people
that went out and bought. That's why there's 18 months of inventory out there.
Yeah. So we've got.
You just wrapped me up. Okay.
Yeah, it's wrap up time.
Okay.
Next week, y'all are going to want to watch because it comes into interest rate.
Right.
We're going to talk about not creative financing, but how you can get your interest rate down, save money on a home, and save money on your monthly payment. On your monthly payment
yes.
overall.
Yes.
And we're going to tell you how it can be done. And it's not creative financing, but it is a way to get your interest rate down and save some money, both on the home you buy, maybe, but definitely on your monthly payment.
So stay tuned next week. But real quick, I want to talk about our new thing that we're kicking off with Bolivar Live team here and the Pearl of East Marsh. We're doing the 12 Days of Christmas giveaway. It's going to start December 10th. So please be sure to watch
your social media.
My social media.
Your Facebook page.
Okay, so I get to use mine. Thank you.
Yep.
But we are really going after the team spirit here and supporting our local community by purchasing the gift certificates from our local
businesses,
yeah,
local Team Bolivar members,
right,
and giving them away. When's that start?
We're going to start it December 10th. We're going to give something away every day for the next 12 days after the 10th. So stay tuned.
Yep.
And go to our website. Our social media page.
Go to her Facebook page.
110 Realty Group on Facebook.
And that way you can get registered, and then she's going to do the drawings, and maybe one show in January we can show a picture of all the people picking up their gift cards.
I love that.
So, remember, Real Estate Talk with Beth is every Monday at 10:30, where we always talk real estate here on Bolivar Peninsula, from the Bolivar Ferry to the High Island Bridge, from the beachfront to the bay side. You can find us on social media channels, but the best place to find us is on our YouTube channel at Bolivar Live, and on Bolivar Live TV on Roku and Amazon Fire. Plus, we've got BolivarLiveTV.com. We're going to head on out, working our way towards 2024. Until next time, I'm David with Bolivar Live. Y'all have a great day, great week. Come see us. God bless, and bye-bye. 110 Realty Group on Bolivar Peninsula, located in Crystal Beach, Texas, believes finding the perfect home or property is a necessity for every client. That it's crucial to provide relevant, up-to-date information on the market, properties, and homes for sale to each and every seller or buyer. Keeping up with the market in today's world is how 110 Realty Group exceeds expectations for their clients. 110 Realty Group in Crystal Beach, Texas are your real estate sales professionals, both in beach home sales and property sales. Finding the perfect custom home on Bolivar Peninsula is a specialty of Beth Terminella and Leslie Armstrong. Keeping up with the daily changes and available homes, properties, and the changing market makes 110 Realty Group the choice for several custom builders for spec homes and investors looking for short-term rentals, along with home buyers looking for that perfect beach house for their family. 110 Realty Group for all your real estate needs on Bolivar Peninsula, in Galveston County, and across Texas.